shot the plane down. They're threatening us, and then he went.
And who controls silent. Twitter but the CIA and the State Department on record with the Library of Congress? And notice they were in the headline Monday saying, we don't want to let ISIS be kicked off Twitter. Let them recruit on there. So ISIS, with all these heat-seeking missiles, is allowed to be on Twitter. But the people in Ukraine who are reporting what happened, they're not allowed to be.
And the other issue, Alex, is U.S. says evidence points to pro-Russia separatists in destruction of Malaysian plane. This New York Times headline. So now they're saying that these rebels had access to the Buk missile system, which is the only missile system in that region that could have shot down this plane. That's not what Ukraine's prosecutor general said immediately after the incident, according to the BBC. The military, the Ukrainian military, told the president after the passenger plane had been shot down that the terrorists did not possess our Buk missile systems. So this whole premise is based around the notion that these separatists had access to this sophisticated radar missile system. Ukraine's own prosecutor general said today the military told the president, the Ukrainian president, the separatists did not have access to this missile system.
And let's expand on that. Only the Russian government had it and the Ukraine government had it back when they were Russian allies. But similar surface-to-air SAMs that go above 30,000 feet have been around since the 50s and in the U.S. and in Russia. And it's just a fact that our fighter pilots in Vietnam dealt with this from '64 on, and that these weapon systems have been sold to everybody. I mean, every major state has these. So to claim that only Russia had this, and so it must be Russia, is just pure bull. The fact that Russia has had a denial, but I don't think a strong enough denial, makes me think they might have been fooled into shooting it down. I'm not saying that, because I don't think we know enough yet. But the fact that they were not allowed to fly through that area under European FAA and EU controls, and now this lone aircraft did, and this comes on the heels of the escalation. I think it's very suspicious. Well, I'm going to come back to you, Paul Watson. I know you've got more, but this is really big. Let's detail the actual sources on this from the EU and the FAA on the bans that took place in the last few months in that sector where this plane was directed to fly.
Alex, the FAA put out a statement, a press release today, reminding people that back on April 3rd, and we covered this last night in the Nightly News. I mean, we already knew this. We covered it last night, but they reinforced it today, saying back on April 3rd, the FAA issued a notice to airmen. And what that notice is, I've got the notice right here, it is a special federal aviation regulation prohibiting all aircraft, U.S. commercial operators from entering that space, anybody that has a certificate issued by the FAA, and all operators of any U.S. registered aircraft. The only exceptions they give, of course, are to U.S. government-sponsored operations and activities. But basically, this is a blanket prohibition, and at the same time, the UN did the same thing through the International Civil Aviation Organization. On April 3rd, they also warned all airlines to avoid that area. Now, we covered this last night, and one of the things, as you guys were just talking about, the Buk missiles.
And by the way, it was an order. I mean, you lose your license if you fly over where they say. I mean, my dad's a pilot.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd be coming up against huge, deadly storms. He'd have to land at some airfield because he couldn't go around the storm and couldn't fly over a military base. That's right. I mean, you don't fly over these designated areas.
That's right. It's a regulation. It's a prohibition. Now, one of the things we're talking about, this missile system, remember that back in October 2001, when the Ukrainian government actually did shoot down an airliner, they said it was by mistake because they were having naval operations, very similar actually to TWA Flight 800, what people believe happened with that. And even though we covered this last night, even though there were over 750 eyewitnesses to that attack, including pilots, people on the ground said they saw a missile, the CIA and the FBI went around and confiscated all that information. Well, it was about a year ago that this all surfaced on the news because that documentary came out about that. And actually, Anderson Cooper on CNN had said, you know, this is the 1 year, this is the anniversary. It was in 1996, but it was on July 17th that the TWA Flight 800 was shot down. He said that, and then he had to do a retraction. So we played that retraction, said, no, I didn't mean to say it was shot down. Actually, the fuel tank blew up, and that caused it to blow up in mid.
And by the way, mainline reporters snuck in, tested it. It was hit by continuous rod warhead, as General Parton, who developed the weapon, said on my show back at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's well known that that aircraft was blown up during a naval drill.
Yeah.
And they had over 1,000 men and women on helicopters and ships who they had to gag in the military.
Yes.
It was it wasn't just Navy involved, who saw multiple missile trails.
Yes, yes.
I mean, they blew the plane up in front of thousands.
And you've got national traffic safety investigators said that they were lied to by the FBI. You got others who said that they got evidence that there were explosives.
But you're not supposed to question that.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter if the people on the ships and the helicopters all saw it. It doesn't matter if General Parton said that, they saw the photos of the reconstructed plane. It was he could see where the missile hit.
Yes. Yes. But that was done with a different kind of missile. They don't need to have a Buk missile. That was done with an SS-20.
No. Only Buk missiles.
Yeah.
Only Buk missiles.
All about that on CNN. They kept showing all the stats about it.
Only Russia can shoot down aircraft.
That's right.
No one else.
Right.
No one. Not England, not France, not the U.S., not Japan, not China, not South Africa, not Al-Qaeda. Only Russia can shoot down aircraft, or you're a traitor, David Knight. We'll be right back.
Next to water and food, you need a safe, storable fuel supply for your preparedness needs. Spare Fuel is the answer. Spare Fuel can be used in any gas-powered vehicle or generator. Spare Fuel is perfect for any unforeseen out-of-gas emergencies. Unlike gasoline, Spare Fuel is safe to store with your other supplies, and it can be stored for many years. Go to GetSpareFuel.com for special pricing. That's GetSpareFuel.com.
Teenagers like me used to think our parents were just weird because they put their phones and computers inside those flimsy little fake leather cases. Then my folks both got a Block-It Pocket. Mom knows it keeps her safe from the phone's radiation. Dad knows it keeps his information private. I like my Block-It Pocket because it blocks hacking and tracking. Awesome. BlockItPocket.com has other cool stuff too. Guess my parents aren't so weird. Get your Block-It Pocket at BlockItPocket.com.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Clean water at home, clean water at the office, clean water on the go. The Berkey Guy has a Berkey water filtration model for anywhere you are, and one that fits any budget. Thousands of satisfied customers can't be wrong. For free shipping within the U.S., go to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Helping thousands prepare since 2005, GoBerkey.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
We're live as the world goes into deepening globalist orchestrated crises. Under international law and common law, Western-backed globalists overthrew Ukraine, triggering this crisis, and are behind the shoot-down of the aircraft one way or another because it wasn't a war zone, and they directed the aircraft into the area. That's just a fact. Those of you that want to blame Russia, who's not the aggressor in all of this, didn't start the fight, you are fools being played by George Soros, Obama, the globalist, the UN. Please remember, this hour is brought to you by all the great products we carry at InfoWarsStore.com and InfoWarsLife.com. Whether it's pro-gun, made-in-America T-shirts, or the very best proprietary nascent iodine and other supplements like Interfood, you name it, they're all available at InfoWarsLife.com. and I am taking my noontime dose right now of the proprietary nascent iodine from Survival Shield at InfoWarsLife.com. And it has been life-changing for myself and my family and so many others I've talked to. The Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, all of it is the purest, most powerful supplements that you're going to find anywhere. No expenses spared, bring you the highest quality. I want to thank you all that have checked out InfoWarsLife.com and gotten the products and taken the challenge. You can also call toll-free if you haven't yet, or if you'd like to reorder, 888-253-3139. And we're running some specials right now. Now, I want to go to this clip before we go back to Paul Watson and David Knight. This is John Busey today on Fox News with from the Wall Street Journal managing editor on Fox, saying Americans will thank the NSA now because they record all the phone calls. I thought that wasn't the case. And they'll find out who really did this. You mean plant whatever they want? I mean, they plant DNA on people all the time. DNA isn't proof of jack diddly squat when the system's run by evil people. So here's the Orwellian clip of now the omnipresent state will solve everything for you. The people caught staging the chemical attacks in Syria and saying only the Syrians had these chemicals, and it turned out it was Saudi Arabia. Let's go to this clip.
That's the latest data points. At the end of the day, this is a time where the citizens around the world are going to be very happy for the NSA because they're going to be scarfing up these telephone calls. They're going to be able to analyze this data. They'll be able to determine, most likely, some of the communications that went on after the crash happened, which will probably clarify the picture in the days to come.
They're going to be scarfing it up. How do they do that? No. They record it live. Basically everything. Okay. All right, let's just get that straight. Paul Watson, other points. We got one more segment with you and David Knight coming up, but other points you haven't gotten to yet with your cutting-edge analysis at prisonplanet.com.
Well, just to put it into context, this incident occurred literally 2 days after Putin and the rest of the BRICS countries announced basically the birth of this alternative to the IMF and the World Bank, this anti-dollar alliance, which directly threatens the unipolar world led by the US and NATO, the New World Order. It also arrives a day after, literally 24 hours after, the Ukrainian forces in that very region were absolutely getting their hind end kicked by these separatist rebels, suffering huge, heavy casualties. Then they have this convenient incident. And of course, the sanctions against Russia have been a complete failure. The Russian stock market has skyrocketed in recent weeks as the US stock market has tailed off. So in terms of cui bono, I mean, all the motivation, all the momentum was going towards Russia getting the upper hand, the separatists getting the upper hand in this conflict with Ukraine, and then this happens.
And for those that don't know Latin, cui bono means who stands to gain, motive. Absolutely key. David Knight, don't even other points. What's coming up in the next segment?
Well, Alex, I was really amazed at how the mainstream media was pushing these conspiracy theories immediately. Immediately they knew...
Within minutes, the Russians did it.
Absolutely. They knew the missile. They knew that only the...
We're going to come right back and talk about it. Stay with us. These are key times, folks.
Thank you for
we need
listening
everybody who
to
wants
GCN.
liberty and doesn't want nuclear war on deck now.
GCNlive.com
Tell your friends and family to
today.
tune in ASAP.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered through the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water. Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today and get your free wire stand with the purchase of a ProPure Big Water Filtration System. Or call 1-888-253-3139.
We
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.